is Colm McCarthy and I am a director of Mac Trading and also I'm the manager here at Rathbane Golf Course in Limerick, Ireland. Rathbane is a municipal golf course based here in Limerick, and we've set up a YouTube channel because we want to be able to communicate with our members and clients such as green fees and societies a bit easier. YouTube has an absolutely enormous following. I mean, there's millions of videos being posted every single day, and we said, hey, we may as well join in on the whole thing. So I suppose the purpose of this video, it's our first video, it's the launch of our YouTube channel, and what we wanted to really do was we wanted to put a video together that would both review our 2019 year and launch our channel, and would also give a bit of insight into what we're going to be doing for 2020. I want to start off by saying thanks very much to the staff here. We have a number of greenkeepers and receptionists that have been here a long time, and all of them are working very, very hard and they're very dedicated to the place, so we want to say thanks very much from them. It's a huge amount of work that goes in here, both at the desk and behind the scenes, and really and truly sometimes people don't see the amount of work that actually goes into it, so thanks very much to all the staff. They're doing a great job. Secondly, I wanted to thank the committee that we have in the club. The committee have been absolutely brilliant. We've outgoing captain at the minute, incoming captain, and really and truly the committee are absolutely working terribly hard to ensure that the competitions are run on a weekly basis, prizes and everything else that goes in. Again, another situation there where there's a huge amount of work that goes on behind the scenes, and sometimes people don't see that, so we want to say thanks very much to them. Lastly, we want to thank Limerick City County Council for the facility itself. Huge supporter of us, very, very good, meet with us quite regularly, very supportive of everything, and they've been absolutely outstanding for the last number of years. This year in particular, they've been absolutely brilliant, so we want to say thanks very much to them. So I suppose, why a YouTube channel? I mean, we're a municipal golf course in Limerick, and you know, I kind of say, why would you use a YouTube channel? I suppose myself, we're very heavy on social media at the minute. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're also on Twitter, and I felt that YouTube was a great way of me recording and communicating with the members regularly. Managers blogs every month and things like that. It's a great way of the green fees finding out what's going on, because I think sometimes it gets lost in translation and there's a lack of communication that goes through. It's great to be able to sit down and talk to some of our golfers that are already here, but at the same time, sometimes then the green fees don't know that. They just come up, they play the golf, they go away. They don't know about all the encouraging and exciting things that we're doing here on the golf course at the minute. So really and truly, as I said, it's here to communicate with all of our clientele, societies, golfers, show course improvements. I suppose it's a very easy way for me to be able to take a camera and bring you up into our sheds and show you, you know, this is a first person view of what it's like to cut a fairway. This is a first person view of spraying greens. This is the first person view of how we do a lot of the maintenance work. I mean, one way I always explain to people about this machinery is, this machinery, it's like putting trucks on the road. It's going non-stop. A good example of this is, if we were to go flat out for about 2 days, we'd have the rough cut. Now that's 2 10-hour days of sitting on one lawnmower to cut all the rough. You're burning a lot of diesel, a lot of man hours, a lot of sore hips out of the greenkeepers. But it does take about 2 days to cut the rough. In summertime, we would do that back to back, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Rough could be easily cut up here 3 times a week. That's not including the autumn, where the ground starts getting a bit soft and you're trying to chop leaves as well. So just put that in perspective. It takes 2 days just to cut the rough, and then you've got several different types of cut. You have to aerate, spray, and all the other bits and pieces. What we're going to use it for is, as I said, communicating quite clearly with people what's going on. I want everyone to see the amount of work that actually goes into it, so people can appreciate it, and they can appreciate how good our pricing is. Putting our year in review, we have noticed here a huge surge in golf. There's a lot of people that are dusting the clubs off and getting back into golf. They haven't played in a number of years, and you know, some with family commitments, and others really and truly they just haven't had time to play between work and whatnot. Maybe they've gone into, a lot of guys actually gone into cycling, which is great to see as well, but a lot of guys are getting back into golf. The great thing about golf is, you can be any age, you can be any fitness level, you can go out there and play. What's great about our course is that you can play 4 holes, 1, 2, 3 and 6. You can play 6 holes, 1 to 6. You can play 3 holes, 7, 8, 9. You can play 7 holes, 10 to 16. You can play 2 holes, 17, 18. And always we come back to the clubhouse. We don't really mind that in the evening times when it's quiet. We like guys getting in a bit of practice for the weekend competition. There's a lot of guys playing in competitions up here, and really and truly it's getting a bit more and more competitive, I think, every single week as it goes on. Guys' handicaps are coming down, and we have an excellent, as I said, committee, very good game secretary last year, and a very good game secretary coming in as well this year. And we can really see the difference in the work that the committee are putting in. We did a couple of things during the year to get new members in. This year alone, we've actually gotten over 30 new members in that have started playing. A lot of that, toward the end of the year, we got in well over 30, and that was mainly because we ran an offer in September which gave you the rest of the year and all of next year included for the same price of $425, which is our full adult price. Good uptake on that. We nearly 20 people uptook that in the stage of a few weeks. And that was great to see. All, again, golfers that want to play weekend competitions join the club. And then what we did on Black Friday was we ran a Black Friday deal, which was $375, where any member who was a current member or new member could join for a discount of €50, $375. We thought it would go well, and it far exceeded that. It absolutely blew the hinges off of it. We were absolutely gobsmacked, to be honest. We had a huge surge in new members. It's great for guys that may not have played in a while, and you know, it's a bit of an investment to go out and buy your clubs, get your shoes, get the gloves, hats, and then go get the balls that you're going to need, and then go and golf. So really and truly, we felt that price point, we were given a good deal, it was a good discount, and a good golf course. So it was a win-win-win, and that showed with the amount of people that we had joined in just one day. Subsequent to that, because we had such a good uptake, we had a couple of people that said, look, you know, I'd like to do it as well, not in a position to do it right now. We said okay, so we've extended that offer from Black Friday in November, and now we've actually extended it to the 31st of January for new members only. They can join at $375. This doesn't include the club, that's an extra couple of quid, but really and truly, it's not that much. It's about an extra 50 quid to join the club, and you can play your weekend competitions. It's an extremely good way of getting fit and staying on top of things. It's nice to get out into fresh air, and really and truly, December has been so mild. I mean, we're still cutting grass. I'm just after coming in from cutting the greens. We're cutting fairways yesterday and today, and we'll be aerating again soon enough. So I suppose with regards to the course, when we talk about a year in review, we've done a huge investment in machinery. We've a number of attachments for tractors and things like that we've gotten that will make our lives a lot easier. I think the last 2 years our members will vouch for the amount of leaves that we've been collecting and removing from the golf course. This has a couple of benefits. Number one, it makes the place look a lot tighter. Number two, it's a lot drier. Number three, it's a lot easier for golfers to find their golf ball, especially at number 6, which is our dogleg hole, a dogleg right. The landing zone for many golfers is on the right side, which is a group of acer trees, and they're about 20-25 years of age at this point, so they're getting big, a lot of leaves. Before, it was a wet area and we had an awful lot of trouble keeping it dry, but now we can lift all those leaves. It's lovely and dry, and we can, it speeds up golf an awful lot, because that was a real pinch point for guys looking for their balls. So we've kept that clean, we've kept it tidy, we've kept the leaves out of the way, and I think it shows precedent in the course. It also helps from our point of view that it dries the ground a lot better because air is able to circulate, and the fact that grass doesn't die as much, so that's really good. We've also increased the amount of top dressing. We've actually doubled the amount of sand that we put out in the last year or two on both greens and tees. We want to go above and beyond that again this year with more sand, because sand really helps the drainage and the quality of the putting surface. So we've done a lot of aeration work. We've a pedestrian aerator now, and a lot of the aeration that you don't see it because we're using these micro tines. They're about 1/4 of an inch thick, needle tining is what it's actually called, and it's done with pedestrian machine. This takes about 3-4 days, possibly 5, depending on how much of a run you have it. So it's a huge investment in man hours, but it really does help. It only goes about 3 or 4 inches deep, hits the roots exactly where they need it, so it's ideal at a time like this, at a time of the year like this, because it means we can keep air circulating around the root zone of the plant, which is why you would normally lose a bit of the grass at this time of the year. So that's very, very critical. Sanding the bunkers, we put in a good chunk of sand last year, and we're hoping to double that up again this year, and that'll really bring on the bunkers. We had let it go over the last couple of years, being honest, but really and truly now we're back on track. We're trying to keep them topped up every single year, topping up certain bunkers. We have actually had discussions with the club about closing a couple of bunkers that they didn't feel were necessary, or ones that were kind of obsolete. So a good example of this would be the back of the 8th green, left hand side. There's a 4-leaf clover shaped bunker there. No one ever goes into it. It's absolutely enormous. I mean, it must be 25 metres across. And the club kind of stressed, look, we're not going in there. We think you should get rid of it. So it's something that we're working on. We're also trying to do a lot of tree work, which is raising crowns of trees. Meaning, for us, it's a benefit that the machinery and the greenkeepers can get under the trees without getting hit with branches. A lot of the machinery has roll bars, so they're quite high. And for golfers, obviously, it means that number one, that they have an actual shot, they're not just chipping out. And it helps a lot in general with airflow, being able to see around the place. So there's a number of benefits. One key thing that we did this year that no one would really know about is we purchased grinders. Grinders are for greens mowers, tees mowers and fairway mowers, and they sharpen the blades. So it was a big investment, a good few €1,000 being spent, in all honesty. But every year we have to grind blades. So what I looked at was, do we keep paying out a couple of €1,000 every single year? We paid in excess of €5,000 this year just on grinding. And I said, for a bit more of an investment, let's buy our own and let's sharpen our own blades. I think it's a big step, and a lot of golf courses would have that set up that they can grind as often as they like. It also means that you get to pull units off of machines more regularly, sharpen and give them an overhaul, instead of waiting for mechanics, which we have been doing before. You have to take the unit off, wait for the unit to be transferred, brought back, and it sometimes can, if something goes wrong, it's a bit higgledy-piggledy in getting the unit back, getting the machine back up and running. So now at least we have the option. We can grind whenever we want. We will probably grind all of our units in January, and then we'll try to grind maybe 4 to 6 times in the year, which is a lot more than what we would have done in the past. From a cost point of view, it's now completely affordable because we own the grinders. So it makes sense for us to grind those units, and even if any other clubs are stuck and they need to give their units a grind, we can help them out too, because they're there, and I'd rather than be using them to be sit there. We will be spending a lot more materials as well this year, as I said already, with sand is one thing, but there's a good few footpaths out there that we're going to be topping up as well. We want to spend a lot more on fertilisers, specifically on greens and collars and things like that. A lot of sprays, and the one problem with sprays that they're kind of expensive, but depending on what you're putting out, but really and truly they don't last very long. So you got to do little and often. So we're going to spend a bit more on that. We've also signage on the course. We have new tee signage for every single tee box. We're going to get some direction signage, a new sign on the gate, and some new signage on the course. It's got a bit dated looking, being honest about it, and we want to get our Mac Golf logo on it. So that'll be coming in the next couple of weeks as well. We've also had a digger into our machinery yard. This is something that, it doesn't particularly directly affect the golfers, but it really does help us in the sense that we now have a huge amount of space. We can store more stuff. A lot of the time before, we had sand in the yard. You'd have to get it out as quickly as possible because you just didn't have the space in it. Now we're after tripling the size of our yard. We have a storage container gone in there, so we can move things around, and we can use the yard more effectively. A couple of €1,000 spent on that as well, in all honesty. But I think it's going to be a huge benefit to us because now we've a right amount of space for what we actually need on the golf course. With regard to the clubhouse and the facilities we have within the clubhouse, we have, thanks to Limerick City and County Council, recently refurbished the club office, which was brilliant to do. And now we're going to start working on, we'll say, repainting and redoing some of the rooms, just renovating them and tidying them up. We did have planning permission granted a long time ago, and we're going to start applying for sports capital grants to see can we get these improvements and improve the facilities, improve the locker rooms. They did have an investment in them a few years ago, but we want to constantly try to improve, and that's an ethos and a mission statement of the actual company itself, is to constantly look at ways of improving ourselves, being more eco-friendly and biodiverse. If you've been following us on Facebook, you see that we've recently started stocking reusable cups. It's a big issue, I think, at the minute, and what we are trying to do is get golfers to get into that mindset of reduce, reuse and recycle. We're trying to do the same ourselves in the golf course. We're very eco-friendly, we're very cautious in the type of chemicals we put out. There's very little fungicide or herbicide or pesticide that go out in this golf course, and we do our best to have practical and cultural methods of trying to solve problems as opposed to relying on chemicals, which can have a huge impact on the environment. So we're very conscious of that. We've a new coffee area gone in, a new coffee machine. So even though it may not seem like a lot and a key critical point, we really try to focus on the entire journey from when you come in the gates until when you leave. So if it's come in, you play your 18 holes, you need the new signage, you need new flags and cups and things like that. Fairways are cut, roughs cut, greens cut, bunkers are raked, all of that. We're trying to do it all in one go, and then coming in afterward, having a nice cup of coffee, sitting down and chatting to people. We've had a lot of old members come back and say, the one thing about Rathbane was there was always great crack up there, there was always a good laugh. And that's something that we want to really hit home. We've also started stocking new clothes in the shop. They're from an Irish supplier as well, so hopefully we'll be able to rotate that. I'd like to know what people want to buy. They're going to be quite discounted and cheap. We're not looking to make a lot of money out of it. It's basically there that we can again give people value for their golf. So if you're looking at getting back into golf and thinking I could do with a couple of polo shirts, I could do with a hat, gloves, whatever, I'm hoping that we're going to have it all in here and that you can get it. I suppose finally, because I didn't want this to be too long of a video, but again, there's some things that we wanted to get out there and people to understand. The 375 deal for new members is focused directly at guys that haven't played golf in a while, that want to get back into it, and that really and truly they're not sure whether they're going to get back into it and stay into it. So why dump close to €1,000 on a place and then get 3 or 4 rounds a year? It seems ludicrous to me. Whereas here, you haven't been a member here in the last year, you can come up, you pay $375. If you get 4 rounds of golf in, okay, it's costing nearly 100. But Rathbane is great and even in terms when you finish work, you nip up, you can play 6 holes as I said, play 4 holes, 2 holes, whatever it is. We're open daylight hours, so we're open till 9, 10 o'clock in the summertime, and we're open at 7:30 every morning, if not 7 o'clock, especially the weekends. As I said already, there's a huge amount of people that have to rejoin this year, so the club is really getting lively. And on top of that, there's a huge amount of people playing in competitions. So golf is getting a bit more competitive. We're really pushing toward things like the Pierce Purse, the Broom, the Junior Cup and things like that as well, to get teams in for that, which would be great. So I wanted to do a YouTube channel, so it's very easy for me to communicate with golfers if they're in Japan or wherever they are and they used to be members here, or they want to be members here and they're after moving back home, they're dusting off the clubs, whatever we want. And we're trying to improve all the time, but we're there to support Limerick, and we are Limerick's golf course. We're considered Limerick's best value golf by me, certainly, and by a lot of people here. I don't know anywhere else that you get an 18-hole Parkland Golf Course 5 minutes outside of the city for €375 as a new member. Green fees at the minute are €12 Monday to Friday, €15 Saturday, Sunday. Our green fee society rate next year in the middle of the summer is going to be about €15 or €16, depending when it is. And we can get caterers and we can do this, that, and the other for you, and we are always known as the convenient golf course. So I want to thank everyone for watching this video. I want to thank our members, which are absolutely brilliant. There's a huge amount of guys that have been here since day dot. They're doing work on the course now, volunteer days. As I said, the committee are working very hard, city council are working hard, and we are working quite hard as well here at Mac Golf. We're trying to deliver great value golf for you in Limerick City and anyone who wants to play golf. So if you or any of your buddies want to play golf, call us on 061 313 655. Check out Mac Golf on Facebook, on Instagram, now YouTube, or any of the social media sites. Book a time and come up and play it and see what it's like.